Hey everybody, welcome back to The Word on the Street Is with Gaby and Michael, where we mention it all about your favorite Bravo celebrities and the shows that they star in.
Welcome. Today we're joined by Sydney Kaplan, who is an amazing guest because she has her own podcast called ReKaps, and that was actually the first podcast I ever did. So Sydney got me started on podcasts. So I'm super excited to have her here. If you want to introduce yourself.
Yes, hello. My name is Sydney Kaplan. My podcast is called ReKaps with a K. It's a play on my last name, Kaplan. And I'm obsessed with the Housewives. I've been watching the Housewives ever since I had a sick day in middle school, and I was like surfing the TV and I found Real Housewives of Orange County, which is funny because that's the one I don't watch anymore, but that's what introduced me into the Housewives. It was a scene with who was the housewife that made those big bracelets?
Lynn Curtin.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Scene with Lynn and her daughters, and I was like, these girls are so cool.
Oh my god.
Now, I think one of them was like a porn star.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, that's what got me hooked, and I guess it's been a bunch of years since then that I've been watching. It's kind of crazy when you think about how many years you've actually been following these humans.
Oh my God, it's crazy. I think I started with Jersey, old school Jersey. And I remember I was on vacation with my mom, and I literally spent one whole day just watching Jersey. I was supposed to be on vacation. But that was so much better.
That's relatable. That's really relatable.
And I was only 12 or 13 at the time. And then
yeah, same.
So Sydney, can you tell us who your top 5 favorite housewives are? They can be past and current.
My top 5 favorite housewives are Bethany Frankel, even though presently I can't get behind her. I think she's obnoxious, but I'm still fascinated with her. I had one that I specifically knew I wanted to talk about with you guys, but I don't remember. Damn. Okay, well, also another I don't know why I'm embarrassed to say that I like her, but Kristen Taekman, I just I don't know. I don't know what it is about her. I thought that she was a good mix of outgoing and would insert herself, but was still a good friend. Katie on Potomac, also I just find her so entertaining, especially seeing her trajectory. She started off as being so prim and proper, and then we see her as I don't even know, just a free spirit.
Yeah.
Right? It's so interesting. Monique.
Oh, Monique, yeah.
Duh. What am I kidding? It's the most obvious one. Just because, so I'm not caught up on the current season, so I don't know, but I think that, again, she is so rich. She's extra. She did that photo shoot for her baby underwater. What the fuck? And,
I mean, her husband's a football player, so yeah.
Yeah, and she just, everyone on Potomac has the worst fashion, but that's okay. We look past it.
I was gonna say, I never even noticed Giselle's bad fashion just because she's so gorgeous.
Oh,
but
I did.
People have been pointing it out this season. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot.
Oh my God, I've been saying since season 1, I'm like, how these people just have the worst fashion. It's actually shocking. They wear those sandals that are flat with the one strap in the middle. It's
oh God,
so
yeah.
bad.
What housewives do you not like? 5 or so?
I hate Lisa Rinna, Candace.
Yeah.
I hate Candace.
So the ones that are really extra, basically.
I look at the lens that I watch Housewives through is that they're all crazy, and I don't respect any of them. So if I'm I can't explain it. Okay, for example, Erika, people love her fashion and stuff, and I'm just you're so I can't explain it. I look at it through a comedic lens. I think that's what I'm trying to say. So anyone that takes it so seriously and like gets dressed up, I'm like, ugh. But at the same time, I like it. Like I like how Dorit gets dressed up. But
Oh yeah.
anyway, I mean, I hate Brandi Glanville. She's not a current housewife.
It can be anybody.
It doesn't have to be current.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but I forgot that she was even like a full-time cast member at any point. Like I just think of her as like an extra. Oh, and I hate Camille. To be honest, like kind of hate Teresa Giudice.
You're like naming all the people I like. But I watch it in a different lens. I like the people that are like extra and crazy. Like I live for like that kind of like show. So
and then Sydney, to round out your Bravo palette, what is your favorite non-Housewives show?
I was gonna say Bethany Ever After, but that's kind of doesn't count. Like I mean, I used to love Southern Charm. I don't anymore. Maybe Summer House, but I don't know if I liked Summer House because I was dating Carl's friend, so I just want to like stalk them. Like I can't really tell which it was. but I always like looked forward to Summer House. So yeah.
And I think your favorite city is New York. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, but like this season, like I don't know, it's changing. So I don't know, I'm loving Potomac.
Potomac is super underrated. I really like Potomac.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not caught up yet, I second or third all of those statements. I think Potomac's awesome as well.
Yeah.
And we'll get into this later when we talk about Salt Lake City, but I felt like Potomac started out slow and now we're like finally like it's in its groove. Whereas like Salt Lake City, I'm like, damn, that was episode 1.
Yeah.
And we are here.
Yeah, I mean the fact that they literally zoomed through the vow renewal when they usually make that an entire episode.
Exactly.
Like that's when you know they have so much footage.
And we'll get into that soon because I think we're all excited to talk about that.
Yeah.
But first, we want to do a little Bravo news and gossip. So our first piece of tea today is that Teresa Giudice actually has a new boyfriend. His name is Luis Ruelas. Hopefully I'm saying that right. I'm Hispanic, so he's a businessman. And yeah, basically I am just really happy to see Teresa happy. I feel like she was holding out for Joe for her kids, and Joe like getting deported I think was honestly the best thing for her because I don't think she wanted to be with him still. And so I am like super here to see her in a new happy relationship.
I did see some rumors on Instagram that this new guy that Teresa is dating is a deadbeat dad to his kids from his previous relationship, which didn't really surprise me, but hopefully it's not true.
You know, unfortunately, in life, we have patterns that we repeat. And if her first husband was a cheater, which we know that he was, and someone that literally put her in jail, I wouldn't be surprised if she had a little bit of like Khloe Kardashian syndrome in her, where she goes after these what's even the word? These toxic men. Yes, thank you. And he just looks like a greasy version of Joe Giudice, in my opinion.
And it's so funny because last season she talked about how like she wants a nice Jewish man. She's sick of like these macho Italian men. And here we are.
Moving on to another housewife experiencing some changes in her relationship life, love life, if you will, is Erika Girardi. She is asking Tom Girardi for spousal support. She's asking for a payment, including attorney fees, and requesting that Tom does not request payment from her.
And she's also looking basically at their shared properties to see if she has any claim in them, which is super interesting. We still have no idea what their divorce is about. It's just irreconcilable differences. I really hope we'll see more next season. because I'm an Erika stan and I'm so sick of like the fans like hating on her. So I really am just hoping that she like gives us everything next season so people just like shut up.
Yeah, I hope she can address the cheating rumors, because there's cheating rumors on both sides for both Tom and Erika. So yeah. I'm really anxious to hear her perspective on the next season.
Yeah, I'm so sorry since we have an Erika stan in the room. But well, no, even if you're an Erika stan, I think you can still acknowledge that they 100% had an arrangement. Like, this was not a normal marriage. Most marriages in LA are not the traditional marriage. And of course Erika's getting it in on the side. Like, what? Like, of course. You think she's only boning him? Like, no way. So wait, I have a question for you though, Michael. Like, so you're still an Erika stan, like, after it came out that she's like basically a bitch?
Yeah, like, I did see that. Well, because there was the guy that outed her on TikTok who had worked with her, and I know that you just podcasted with him. And then I obviously like I did not like the whole meme thing. I thought that was like so unnecessary. So
that didn't bother me as much.
I stan her, but like I can still be like, oh, that's wrong of her. But I met her and she was super nice to me, and obviously she's not gonna be nice to everybody. But yeah, I just feel like people like are so focused on her storyline, where like Mauricio has cheating rumors, PK has lawsuits, and they barely talked about that. Dorit's whole storyline last season was her Buca de Beppo, and Erika's was Broadway. What's really the difference between the two? Harry Hamlin has cheating rumors, so I feel like we got to focus on everybody, like not just Erika. But
you have some fair points.
Yeah,
you do. You really do. It's just something about her, because I'm like, I don't think you're shy, but yet you just don't really contribute much. Like I've like, does she ever really say anything funny, or I don't know, maybe I'm just like not remembering, but I just feel like she just doesn't even contribute to like the friend group.
I was gonna say, I really enjoy Erika a lot. She's not one of my top 5 favorites like she is with Michael, but she is really funny sometimes. I think she has some really funny one-liners.
She actually, I do remember when, I don't know, I think when they were in Italy and she was like kind of drunk, she was saying some funny stuff. So that's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, the last season was so like weird, like so focused on Denise, where I feel like they couldn't be like fun and lighthearted. And I heard that this next season is supposed to be more low key because of last season. So I'm hoping she'll redeem herself. Also Rinna, because I do love Rinna as well. And so I'm hoping they can kind of redeem themselves.
I hope so too. You know what? Like, I hope so.
Going into our next piece of news. I don't know, Sydney, if you watched Miami, I know that Gaby just binged it, but Andy had said that he has been wanting Miami to get rebooted on Peacock, which I'm super pumped about. My mom lives in Miami, so I'm like, if it comes back, I'm going to Miami when they're filming and I'm gonna try to find them.
Oh my God, yes.
Or any thoughts on who might return if it does come back?
Oh, so I think Larsa would come back. Like, she tries to act like she's not thirsty. She is.
She lives in LA though, or no?
She's back and forth.
Okay.
Yeah. And I feel like what's her name? The older woman.
Leah Black.
Yes. I feel like she would come back. I don't think the one with the mom would come back. Marisol?
Yeah, Marisol. I don't think so either.
Her mom passed.
Yeah. That's kind of who I think would come back, because that's who's memorable.
And I think it would be mostly newbies anyway, with like maybe 1 or 2 old people.
Good point.
I personally loved Real Housewives of Miami, all 3 seasons. I watched on BravoTV.com, and I am shocked that it was canceled. It's like better than Dallas, It's better than like the most recent season of Beverly Hills, and I just can't believe it got canceled. The other person who I think would come back potentially is Lisa and Adriana, or also Adriana. I think both of them come back.
I think they would too. Adriana just kind of seems thirsty to me. And Lisa like still has her like plastic surgery, whatever. So I could see both of them back for sure.
Michael and I both think Lenny is cute.
I'm attracted to him. Is that weird?
Wait, I'll have to look him up. But I'm attracted to some weird people. So no, it is so interesting. Like, what I would do to get behind the scenes of why certain shows are canceled. I mean, every show is canceled for the same reason, because the ratings weren't good. But it's like, is Summer House's ratings that good? Like, I doubt it, but it's still around. So it's just interesting.
Yeah, I guess it depends on ratings and just kind of like the vibe of the show, like the direction. If they don't feel like there's going to be good storylines. So second to last thing is, I know, Sydney, you've been talking about it on TikTok, but the whole Scott Dissick, Amelia Hamlin, they've been spotted together. They've been, I guess yesterday they were just on the beach holding hands. They had dinner in Malibu. I don't know. What are our thoughts on that?
To me, it's just simply not okay to continue to normalize teenagers dating older guys just because it's Hollywood. No, it's when you're 19, you should be enjoying other people your age, not men with children in their later 30s. I mean, I know guys that are like Scott's age and they truly have the mental capacity, like emotional capacity more of a 19-year-old. So like, and I mean that sincerely. Like, I know guys that just, that's where their mind is. So it makes sense why Scott connects more with a 19-year-old. But although, like, what in his life is comparable to Amelia's? Like, he has kids, you know? So but who knows? Like, you have to wonder if it's like kind of has to do with his trauma, like that he kind of, because I feel like a lot of guys will go after girls that they know aren't right for them because they're not ready to settle down. So like maybe he wants to be with Courtney, so he's just dating, you know, these younger girls in the meantime because he knows they're not going to try and settle down. Maybe it's that, maybe it's, but like either way, it's inappropriate. Like, right? Am I crazy? It's weird.
Gaby, what do you think?
I don't see the relationship lasting. A 37-year-old and a 19-year-old, the statistics are kind of working against them. I think could be a publicity stunt or just a quick fling. I don't know. I don't find either of them appealing. I've never liked Amelia on Beverly Hills. Whenever she shows up, I like Delilah a lot better.
Yeah.
And then Scott's always been really unlikable on the Kardashians. So I didn't have like too much of an opinion on them other than just like an eye roll and like, okay, we'll be hearing a breakup announcement within the next coming months.
Yeah, I think Rinna and Jenner might have some strings behind the scenes of this, but I don't know. I mean, I actually liked Amelia until last season when I realized she's just kind of a spoiled brat. The only thing I will say is like when I was Amelia's age, I did date guys that were like Scott's age. So I don't know. And it is also different, like from like a straight relationship to a gay relationship.
Yeah.
Too. So I don't know.
Wow,
but
when you were 19, you were dating, you dated a 37-year-old?
Yeah, I dated someone that was that age, yeah.
How did you feel? Like, did you feel like intimidated a little bit?
Not really, honestly.
Wow. Maybe it is different with two dudes. I don't know,
Yeah,
but like
I feel like it is different, honestly.
yeah, because like yeah, and it's also just different personalities. But like for me, like when I was 25, like I was, you know, dating guys that were 35, and now that feels different. Like now I'm 27, and if I were to date a 37-year-old, I wouldn't really even think of it as a thing. But like I feel like the younger you are and the older you go, it's more of a thing.
I'm curious if this will come up next season on Beverly Hills. I would.
I pray it does.
They definitely will pepper in some paparazzi photos of the two of them some season. I'd be shocked if they didn't.
I kind of would love for like Garcelle to be the one to bring it up to Rinna. Sheena posted on Instagram last week that she's having a girl with her boyfriend Brock. And I don't know, Gaby and I are super excited for her. We really like Sheena. So.
And I think they're really hot. I don't know if I've mentioned that before, but major Jason Momoa vibes from him, but with a Aussie accent.
Yep. He's cute. I'm so happy for her. Like, as a woman, it is like I can't imagine being her age. And you know, when she started the IVF process, I don't know how old she was, but like to go through that alone and like not know what the future holds, so scary. And I'm so happy she's found her path.
Yeah, and like all of her friends were getting married. Obviously, like 3 of the girls were pregnant before her, and she's like a little bit older, so I feel like she was just like really like stressed and just. So I hope that she's happy.
She looks really happy.
This is like what I've been waiting to talk about because I've literally watched the premiere like 3 times, and I almost watched it a 4th time last night because I'm obsessed. But Salt Lake City like is 100 times better than I ever imagined it to be when it got announced last November, like around BravoCon. I was like, you know, I'm gonna watch it no matter what, but I'm like, I don't really know. And wow. I don't know, who are your guys like favorites, like initial thoughts?
I had the same exact thoughts as you when they announced it. I was like, really? Like, I want a San Francisco. Yeah, I was like, really? But oh my God, like there's just already so much to talk about. And oh wait, I want to wear my She Smells Like Hospital shirt. Oh well, but
oh my God. Already an iconic quote.
It's so good.
My initial favorites are Heather. I think she is awesome. Love her. Brooks, Meredith's son. I think he is so awesome. I love him. And I also really love Jen. I think she's going to be an overall fan favorite, and she's so much fun.
Yeah, I love Jen so much because, like I said earlier, I love the extra housewives. She like gives me a lot of Nene vibes, but she's like kind of glamorous and she's just really funny. And I love her personality. She got 3 assistants. She threw that party for Meredith and pretty much made it all about her. Her microphone. I mean, like there was so much about her this episode that I just absolutely love.
Guys, I have that microphone.
But no, yeah, I really like Jen, and I really liked Heather too, just because I feel like maybe if she was still married, I wouldn't like her as much. But you know, she just got divorced maybe 5 years ago. She's like done with the Mormon church, so I feel like she's now like ready to let loose and have fun. And I don't know if she would have been like that a couple of years ago, so I'm here for it. I also really liked Whitney, and I don't know, I feel like people aren't talking about Whitney enough, but I actually really liked her. I thought she was like kind of quirky, and I don't know, I hope that she like is as good as I'm expecting her to be.
Yeah, I think Whitney's adorable. And her voice is really cute.
And I feel like Bravo did a really good job of casting because all these girls are insanely different. Like I got Lisa and Meredith mixed up a little bit at first, but like they all are just so like have their individual like quirkiness, and they're all, I mean, I don't know, I feel like they all just have something different to offer us.
So Sarah, she was going to potentially be a Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, and she's the really drunk girl that showed up while Jen was still getting ready. And I don't know about you guys, but I got major vibes that made me think of the girl from Real Housewives of Orange County that broke off the bow at Heather's party, like just wasted, not making sense, showing up at a party like in a sparkly dress, like just so schmammered. I thought it was really funny.
So what did you guys think of the Lisa and Heather drama? Like, because Heather obviously remembered Lisa from college, and Lisa, I think, was shady, like, oh, I don't really know Heather. But then she goes on to say, like, oh, she broke the honor code, like lifting up her shirt. but I thought you didn't really know who she was.
I don't like Lisa. I know his type.
Like, honestly, my issue with Lisa is that she sells a product that she doesn't try, that she's never tried. She sells tequila and vodka, but she doesn't drink. I would never sell a product that I didn't try. And I respect that she doesn't drink alcohol. That's fine. But why the hell are you selling it if you can't even test it and sample it and know what you're selling to people?
Wait, are we positive she doesn't drink? She said I don't drink. I thought she said Mormons don't drink, but like she does.
I thought she said.
I was unclear because I really thought she didn't. I felt like she said something about how she doesn't drink, but then she has all these alcohol companies. But I feel like she probably like drinks behind the scenes. But it's funny because Lisa is really the only one that's a Mormon. I mean, Whitney and Heather were like left the church. Obviously, Mary's Pentecostal. We can get into her later because that's a whole nother thing. And then Meredith's Jewish, and then Jen has converted to Islam. So I also like kudos to Bravo for not making it just like all these Mormon girls. Like they got a lot of diversity just with their religion alone.
Totally.
Let's just get into Mary and Jen now, because the whole hospital smell drama is really killing me. The fact that there's literally a fight because Mary said that Jen smelled like hospital, which, okay, I'm just going to say, like, I am very sensitive to smells. Like,
me too.
I've literally.
It like causes fights because I can smell everything.
And this is probably TMI, but I've literally thrown up from people like farting before. So.
Really? Poor thing. Oh, it's because I am so sensitive to smell to the point that now I'm walking around and I think that everything smells like hospital.
Oh my God.
It's amazing. It's reality TV gold. Like,
it's amazing because it's drama, but it's also like so random and dumb, but like you just have to love it.
Well, speaking on this drama, I think Mary is so mean. The stuff she was saying about Jen's aunt, about getting both of her legs amputated, she was like, well, she should have gone on a diet and drank some water. And I was like, that is one of the meanest things I've ever heard. How could you say that? I lost all respect for Mary. She could redeem herself and be really nice later on this season, but she's making fun of sick people, and I cannot get behind that.
Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like maybe she really didn't even realize that her aunt was sick at first, and she's just like, oh, I'm sensitive to that smell, whatever. But then it kind of just shows her true colors for her to make that comment. It shows that she really was never going to be sensitive about the topic to begin with. So Jen has every right to be pissed off at her, honestly.
What in the world? Like, to say that, I mean, do you think that maybe she was a Housewives fan and she was trying to say something shocking because she wanted to become a meme or something?
No, I think she's just mean-spirited. That's the vibe I got.
Yeah.
I just think there's something like weird about her. And obviously I read this whole Reddit post about how like her church is a cult and they all worship her and they call her Jesus and she's got financial control. So I feel like there's just something really like deep and dark about her. And I don't know if we'll ever get it, but there's something lingering behind the scenes of whatever she's got going on. And I don't know, I feel like it's almost like too much for Bravo. Even like, I'm surprised she wanted to go on the show because I feel like a lot of tea is going to get dug up about her and her family. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just like sketched out by her, honestly.
Yeah, I heard that her church is a pyramid scheme. So maybe she went on the show thinking, oh, this will be good for my business, but it's going to be the opposite.
Oh, yeah, it's all going to get exposed.
Yeah.
So be ready.
She's like going to be the only housewife whose businesses aren't benefiting then from this show.
Yeah.
Well, not Teddy.
Well, Teddy, yeah.
Can't pay for this oh, yeah, that's right, Teddy. But like the type of publicity that the housewives get for their businesses is similar to like when people go on Shark Tank. Like that type of publicity is incredible.
Yeah.
Totally.
But I don't know. I think she's a really great character. I mean, I'm trying to give everyone one season before I really like, these are my favorites. These aren't. Obviously, that's hard to do. So I went in like, I don't know how I'm going to feel about Mary, but I still think she's a great character for reality TV. I can still say that and be like, I'm going to enjoy her. I'm not going to like her, but I think she's interesting. Where Teddy, I'm like, I just don't think she's good for TV.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there definitely is like a fine line between like, I don't like you for TV and I don't like you as a person, but wow, you really bring the drama.
Yeah. So I'm going to be loving this Jen and Mary rivalry this season. I mean, I just think we have a really good season on our hands, even if it's like 12 episodes. That was the premiere. So we're like in it. Like every episode I expect to be that good because it's a shorter season already. So my expectations are high and I hope they don't get let down, but I don't feel like they will.
Agreed, because we see that Heather and Jen go at it later in the season, and they're like best friends. So
yeah, we're gonna see Heather and Jen. I think more of Lisa and Heather. Obviously, Jen and Mary. I'm not sure what drama Whitney's. I think we see Jen and Whitney at one point. I mean, I don't know. It's gonna be good, and I feel like they're not even showing us all the drama because I heard there's like physical fights too. I don't know if that's true or not, but like they go to Vegas and someone has a black eye. I don't know if that's a rumor or what, but if that's true, I would say I don't condone physical violence. I always have to say that, but like low key, I'm like, ooh, this is gonna be good.
A true Housewives fan.
Yeah, right.
Whenever it gets escalated from like just yelling, it's a good fight.
Yeah. I'm one of those people that I love like the crazy fights, like the Kim and the Rinna Amsterdam fights. Like I'm here for like those kind of fights. So
same.
Any like final Salt Lake City thoughts?
I'm thrilled with Bravo for finding this little nook in the United States of greatness and chicness and diversity, and I'm forever grateful.
Yeah, they did good. Bravo. I was already looking up flights to Salt Lake City. I'm like, wait, I kind of want to go now.
Well, it's so funny. I was supposed to go with my friend, like coincidentally, but then I didn't feel like I had time before Thanksgiving, and like I didn't really want to go like in the winter.
So I looked up Meredith's store through her store's Instagram just because I wanted to get a feel of the jewelry that Rihanna, Scarlett Johansson, and Charlize Theron wear from her.
Yeah.
The cheapest thing I found in Meredith's store was like $285, but it goes all the way up to like thousands of dollars. Like that. Oh, there was like one piece of jewelry that was $285. The rest of it fell on the spectrum of between $2,000 to $10,000.
Dang.
Yeah, her stuff's very, very expensive.
Obviously, they can afford it if it's Rihanna.
Yeah, 100%.
So does she design the jewelry, or she just has a store?
That's a good question.
I think she designs it, because that would be more impressive. Because if you're just saying that celebrities buy from your store, then that doesn't mean they like your store. That means they like the brands that you sell at your store.
I was also curious, like, how does Jen get her money? Because in one of those scenes, she was wearing this like Gucci robe, and I was like, oh, I'm curious how much that is. I Googled it. It was like $5,700. That party must have been like pretty expensive. I did Google her husband's salary because he works at a university, so that's public. And he makes like $450K, which obviously is great.
Oh, I thought he'd make more than... I actually asked my dad, because my dad's a football fan. So I was like, what do you think? I love that we're all thinking the same thing.
Oh,
yeah. My dad said he thought he'd make around 700
at a public university, because you was public.
Yeah, that's what he thought. I mean, my dad was wrong, but which in Salt Lake City is like making a lot more, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
I just feel like the amount he makes, making over $400K a year, I could see someone at a private school making that much money, but U of Utah is like a really large flagship institution. So that just $400K seemed like just a lot to me at a public school, period, any public school.
Yeah.
Now I think we should leave the state of Utah and head to South Carolina.
Let's do it. I feel like this season is off to a slow start. Just because like I thought the trailer was pretty good. Like I thought we were gonna get a lot of good drama. Obviously, I really don't want to relive COVID because we're still living it, and I don't want to relive it through like Catherine and Shep. But I don't know. I feel like the season so far has just been kind of blah to me.
Yep. I literally like don't want to watch it. Like I rather watch old reruns of Potomac.
Right.
Southern Charm, like I don't like Shep. I like Craig because he's so bizarre to me.
I like Craig too, actually. I don't know, for whatever reason. I love his like pillow business and he's like sewing, and I don't know, something about that just like makes me happy.
He's like a lovable, incompetent weirdo.
Yeah, he's like a lovable like Tom Schwartz, where he's like he's incompetent, but he like can do things. I don't know.
Yeah, no, totally. I like don't care about Madison and Austin. Like I'm actually gonna throw up thinking about them. I'm creeped out by Whitney. This guy John Pringle looks like I can't even begin to tell you like really this is what you got, John Pringle?
I know. And I think we've been really excited about Leva, but I feel like she should have come on like 3 seasons ago, because now it's like she's just stuck with like Catherine.
It's boring. And Leva, like the things that come out of her mouth, they're braggy, in my opinion. Like when she talks about meeting her husband and he was a wolf I could run with, and like saying it's a sustainable sexy to be smart and creative. I'm like, no, like she's just full of it, and like I'm not here for it. Like I'm just bored. Like I'm bored. Yeah.
Gaby, what do you think?
Well, Sydney, I do respectfully disagree, because I love Leva. She was messaging me and Michael on Instagram, and she was so sweet. So she told me that she'd give our podcast a listen. So nice. Yeah, she seems really nice, and I agree 100%. She should have come on like 3 seasons ago. Like clearly she's known this whole crew for a long time. They even showed footage of her in early seasons coming over to Cam's house. Like why the hell didn't she get brought in sooner?
I feel like now, like, because she's friends with Cam, and obviously Cam's gone, and I didn't really know. I feel like Cam was maybe supposed to be on this season, and then she wasn't because Catherine was spreading that rumor about her. But what's the point of spreading that if she's not even on the show? So I feel like I would have liked to see her more with like the girls that she was actually friends with, but they're all gone, and now it's like they just threw her in there with like Catherine and Shep. But I feel like she actually is like cultured, and that's something the show desperately needs. And I like that she's like kind of calling out the ignorance that is Charleston, basically. Like people are like, oh, is that your boss's car? Just like, do you speak English? Like things like that. I'm like, yeah, this show kind of needs that. And it's 7 seasons too late, but I'll take it, I guess.
Yeah, it is nice to look at someone who isn't like blonde. That's for sure. No, I like that she was nice to you guys. Like that makes me really like her, actually.
Yeah, she was really sweet. She's like, don't talk too much shit about me, like kind of joking. But
so then I like had to quote Clueless. I was like, as if we adore you.
But yeah, I'm also just like kind of blah, like Madison and Austin, like I just get annoyed with the relationships that are like on and off constantly. And like John is just like, I just think when I think of John, I think of like dad jokes. Like that's the kind
and also like, don't you think don't want to be judgmental because I've never been married. I don't have kids, but I'm like, what? How can you move across the country from your kids? I don't like, and then complain about it.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I'm thinking the same thing, Sydney. It's like when people go on The Bachelor willingly and then complain the whole time they're away from
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why are you here then? Please go home to your child.
And
Exactly.
he said he only sees them, and these are young kids, so like I feel like that's when it's important. And he said he sees them for 10 days over spring break and then half the summer. Like that's nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah, especially when they're that young. Like if they're in college or whatever, it's like okay, but
Yeah, that's different.
like what 6 or around then. I can't
Yeah.
remember.
It's just, to me, it's very curious. It's like, why?
Yeah, and I also think it's funny that like Patricia's like trying to meddle because that's just kind of what she does.
Yeah.
But
And-
I also think it's weird that John was just telling Austin that he's like interested in Madison when they're literally dating. Like, who does that?
I was trying to give him, I was trying to think if I was in his position, like, because, like, okay, I'm the type of person, like, if I like it, if I'm dating someone, I like hearing that other people think he's cute because I'm shallow. So I was
Yeah.
thinking maybe, like, John, I was just trying to be like, okay, maybe it's not that big of a deal, but I feel like men don't like that. Like it's not.
No.
Yeah.
And it's one thing if he's like, oh, she's like hot, but like behind the scenes, like Patricia's like, oh, that's not gonna last. You should swoop in.
True.
And
Very
then,
true.
like, so there's like more behind it where it's just like weird and it's just like something you don't do.
Good point. Yeah.
The other like funny thing I got from this episode, which obviously I didn't get much from this episode, but I thought it was funny at Leva's party where Catherine's like telling them all that Thomas got a girl pregnant and she's like acting so surprised. And then when she's like telling the group later, she's like, yeah, but I saw a pregnancy test at his house and I heard he was at an OBGYN appointment with the pregnant girl. So then why are you surprised?
Yeah, that doesn't add up.
Catherine is not the brightest bulb in the tanning bed, and she just never has like snapped out of this fantasy that her and Thomas will be together. It's like he is a horrible person, and like I just feel bad that she has to share 2 kids with someone who's so horrible. But I also wish she would just stop wishing for this relationship to work. It's not going to work. I feel like Gretchen Wieners. It's not going to happen. Like,
Yeah.
Seriously.
make this happen, girl. It's not going to.
Yeah, it's not. I just don't get, I mean, I feel bad because, yeah, those kids are now going to have like a half sibling. So obviously, like that complicates it for her. And she's, I don't know, if I was a parent and they had a half sibling, I'd probably try to want them to have a relationship of some sort. So,
Yeah, of course.
so it just like makes it weird.
If I was in Catherine's shoes and my partner got someone knocked up that was going to be a half sibling to my kids, I'd want them to have a relationship.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know. I don't get the appeal of Thomas, especially after 8 years of whatever that relationship was. I just don't get how she can't move on from it.
He's scum.
He really is. Like I can confidently say he's just a bad human.
Oh, for sure. But I'm like nervous because the next episode, they're already talking about COVID. And it's like already been boring. And now we're getting into the COVID stuff. And I'm just like, I don't really want the COVID stuff. I'm not ready.
No, I hear that. Like, I don't enjoy watching it on TV. Watching stuff like reality COVID stuff. It's almost like, I don't know.
You're living a bad nightmare that you're still living in.
Yeah. And it's just, it's corny. Like how they do the music, like the dun dun dun, like.
So this week's fun fact is about Pastor Jamal, and that is Giselle Bryant's ex-husband that she shares her 3 daughters with. So Giselle and Jamal were married from 2002 to 2009, but I believe they split up in 2007. A little bit of background on Jamal. He graduated from Morehouse College, which is an all-men's college that Dr. Martin Luther King also graduated from, which is really cool. Currently, he's the senior pastor at the New Birth Missionary Baptist Church in the state of Georgia. And he's been in this role since November 2018. So apparently this church is actually a really big deal. In 2006, this church was chosen to be the location of Coretta Scott King's funeral. That is the wife of the late Dr. Martin Luther King. So that's a huge deal. Four U.S. presidents were in attendance at that funeral at this church. So it's a big deal. So something that is notable to know about this church is that it has embraced the Pentecostal theology. And this is the same religion that we are seeing Mary practice on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. And as I think Michael mentioned earlier in this episode, that Mary's church is a pyramid scheme, and they also are very culty. They refer to Mary as Jesus. So we're not saying that Jamal's church is like this as well, but you
never know.
We don't know. It could be shady in the pyramid scheme way. We honestly don't know. But anyway, moving on, the church that Jamal is the pastor at has also experienced quite a bit of controversy over the years that includes sexual allegations against a former bishop before Jamal joined. Pastor Jamal, though, he also has his own share of scandals. We know from watching Potomac that he cheated on Giselle, but apparently Ebony magazine they wrote an article about how Jamal got a 17-year-old from the congregation pregnant in 2013 at a different church. He demanded that Ebony magazine retract the article. They then said it was published falsely, yada, yada. We don't know the full story, but for some reason now Giselle is back with him. And I really don't get why, because she could do so much better, especially since he's already cheated on her.
I don't get it either. And as someone who has divorced parents themselves, I would think it would be just so random and weird for my parents to just get back together after however many years. Like, that would literally frighten me. So I totally, like, at the beginning of the season, we saw like their reaction, like they're not that enthusiastic about it. And I really don't blame them. I just think it's really odd because it's like, you're not doing it for the kids because the kids don't really want it.
It's interesting though that you say you think she could do so much better, but honestly she seems like a really difficult person, so maybe not. Maybe she can do better.
She seems really hard to like date, or like she's just really high maintenance.
Giselle does seem high maintenance, and I guess when I say she could do so much better is because I truly think that Giselle is one of the most gorgeous people I've ever seen. Like, she is just so unique looking with her eyes, her hair.
Gorgeous.
I look at her and I'm just like, wow, I've never seen anyone that looks like you. So wise, I think Giselle could have any guy she wants.
Yeah.
Thank you so much to Sydney Kaplan for joining our podcast today. If you haven't checked her out on TikTok, you're silly. It's amazing. Her TikToks are fabulous. She's fabulous. We love her Instagram. It is ReKaps with Sydney, correct? Sydney, for your podcast?
Sydney ReKaps. Sydney ReKaps with a K.
Perfect. So be sure to check her out. She's going to give you a couple of plugs right now, but we are so happy you're able to join us today, Sydney.
Yeah, thank you. So it's like a reverse because I was on her podcast like months ago, and so it's exciting to have her now here.
Thank you. Yeah, listen to my episode with Michael on ReKaps Podcast, ReKaps with a K. And yeah, I'm on social media at Sydney ReKaps, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and at ReKaps Podcast on Instagram. And for the holidays, I have a line of sustainable merch with hilarious housewives sayings, and it's dirt cheap and it's secondhand, so you can feel good about supporting a small business that's also sustainable. So that's at ReKaps merch sustainable.
So obviously Sydney does not watch OC, so she has left, and so it's just going to be Gaby and I. We're going to be chatting about the latest OC. I know we didn't touch on last week, so I guess kind of the last 2 episodes. For me, I feel like with Southern Charm, I'm not that excited about OC this season. I was excited for the Gina Braunwyn fight, and now I'm just like, that's over, and I really don't know what else to really expect from the season. And this is another Southern Charm case where we're going to get into COVID soon. This past episode, Kelly had kind of mentioned it, made some ignorant comment about it, like Kelly does. So I'm, again, just not that excited. Gaby, like, what are your thoughts as a whole? What stood out to you this last episode?
Yeah, I feel the same. This season's just kind of underwhelming. It's a snooze fest. Even like having a new housewife is just not that exciting. It was pretty comical when we learned the name of Shannon's daughter's book that she's writing. It's called How to Weather the Shannon Storms B'Dor.
Bizarre. Like,
wow.
I don't know, like, who doesn't have divorced parents at this point? I don't get how writing a book about divorced parents is any different from, I don't know. I don't get what differentiates that book.
It doesn't. It's really, I think, just Sophie trying to bank on the last bit of Orange County Housewives fame before it inevitably gets canceled, maybe?
Yeah.
So yeah, I really think that's what Sophie's trying to do. She can just go off to college at Baylor in Texas and live her life there.
What I will say about Shannon is I do feel like she's a really great mom. Yeah. I mean, I think she's really strict. Like at the housewarming party, how she was having like all the kids work. I don't know. I didn't really have really strict parents, so I'm just like, I don't know. That seems like a lot to me. And I thought it was funny how Braunwyn called John's son Lemonade Boy. But I do think she's a really great mom overall. So, I do feel like she's done a good job with her girls, especially with having their dad be who he is. So
oh my gosh, I would have been so mad if I were John's son being called Lemonade Boy. As someone who worked in restaurants for a really long time, if someone was like, hey, waitress, I would have been so mad. So I was really disappointed in Braunwyn, especially because we know she was sober in that moment. Yeah. It was like no excuse. I actually was really disappointed in Braunwyn for that. She just said, excuse me, young man, anything.
Yeah.
A million other things she could have said other than Lemonade Boy.
See, I wasn't that upset about it, but I'm not someone that ever really worked in the service industry. So I guess have that understanding. So coming from you, I'm like, okay, I get it. I get the perspective now.
And especially because Braunwyn is so like progressive, and she like, I just see her posting about so many important things on social media, like yelling out to someone Lemonade Boy just makes you sound very uneducated and ignorant, which she's
not. Yeah, I totally get that. But speaking of her, I mean, it was really cool to see, finally see her son doing drag, getting in all the outfits, like the transformation. I don't know. He seems really happy, and I know what he was saying, like he was just kind of depressed and nothing really made him happy. And this is what's like getting him out of bed. And so it really makes me happy to see her and her daughter and her husband all be super supportive of him.
I'm obsessed. Yeah, I'm obsessed watching not only Jacob's journey, but watching a family that is so supportive. Like Braunwyn said it in one of her confessional interviews when Jacob told her, he was like, you know, I'm into drag, but I don't know where I am with my identity. I don't know.
Yeah.
And Braunwyn was like, what he does know is that he has a family that supports him 100%. And I honestly, I think I rewinded that scene a couple of times because I just love that so much. Like her saying what my son does know, even though he's still figuring out this journey, learning who he is, but he'll always know he has a family behind him. And I just couldn't love that more.
that made me really happy. And I feel like Braunwyn's kind of going through the same thing with her sobriety. She's on a journey with her sobriety as well. So it's almost like she has someone to like, obviously they're not going through the same thing, but she's got someone that's kind of in her family that's going on a journey as well with drag.
Yeah. Well, and
Yeah.
she even said her son's her role model right now. She just
Yeah.
so inspired by him. So the whole situation, I love it so much. Just give me more.
Yeah. And he's only 14. So if this is really his passion, he wants to stick with it, come to 21, 18, 21, whatever, he's going to be a really good drag queen. And I'm excited for that if that ends up being what his passion really is. But I'm excited that he's able to express that passion because he has a family that supports him.
Yeah, he can explore it like guilt and judgment free and just be like, yeah, if this isn't for me, my family's going to support me no matter what. And I just wish every child had that, a family that would just like, we love you no matter what, because that's how I grew up. And I wish that for everybody.
Yep. And that's how I did too. So it makes me happy to see. I mean, again, like Braunwyn, the only things I've really been enjoying of this season have been with Braunwyn. So I don't know.
Yeah, totally.
The only thing else that really stood out this episode was the fact that we finally got to see Matt, Gina's ex, which after 3 seasons, it's been 3 seasons now since she started, and we finally got to see him, which was weird because of their situation, but it was also kind of exciting as a viewer.
It was. And also every single time we've gotten any family photos, Matt's face is blurred out. So
I know.
He is like actually just showing up with his girlfriend to Sienna's birthday party. I was like, wow, like we've done a total 180.
Mm-hmm. And it seems like Gina is like kind of friends with his girlfriend now. So it's nice that they can be on good terms, but I feel like she's really just trying to do it for the kids because obviously there's still the lawsuit or whatever happened last season when the domestic violence dispute. So
I was that too, Michael. I was like, I know we always kind of like give Gina a lot of crap, but I will say I honestly am very impressed with her that she's willing to like put aside like really shitty things that have happened between her and Matt, like with him showing up at the house in the night. Yeah. She's honestly put aside a lot of things by allowing him to come over, and she's doing it all for their kids.
Yes.
So when I see people who put their kids first in the situations of divorce, everything Gina's going through is really shitty. No one wants to go through it. Yes. But the fact that she still is putting the kids first and like finding the silver linings of dealing with her ex's girlfriend, I'm actually impressed by, and Gina has earned a few brownie points from me.
Yeah. I mean, I love picking on her, but she's a really great mom, and she's got 3 young kids, and she's going through divorce. She had her DUI. She had Matt, whatever happened with Matt. I mean, there's a lot going on, so I will cut her some slack.
Yeah. And I always can respect somebody who, again, puts their children first, because so I've seen so many divorces on TV and actually, unfortunately, in real life where people, like, their divorce takes center stage and they like just are so awful to their ex-partner in front of their children. And that kind of stuff is just like, it's so difficult and it's so hard for kids to deal with.
Yeah, I went through that. So I totally understand. But yeah, she's going through all of this while having it all televised on national television. So I mean, yeah, definitely kudos to her. I'm talking good about Gina, which doesn't happen often.
Gosh, it's like, what's going on?
I know. Next will be Teddy.
And next week we're gonna be like, we love Teddy.
Yeah, I just love her now.
Like officially, we'll have fallen into the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, really. But yeah, I mean, I don't really have much else to expect from this season. I know it's going to be shorter because of COVID, but also just because I don't feel like there is a lot going on, or there's a lot that's going to be going on. Yeah, I mean, I feel like other shows, they've been filming through COVID. Atlanta is still a full season. Jersey filmed for 3 extra weeks. And I know it's different because they started after COVID, but I feel like if there was drama, it would still have been the same amount of a season.
Yeah.
And I also just like don't consider Elizabeth even a housewife. I just don't even like, I just forget she's there. I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know if you have the same feelings about her.
I was like so horrified when I saw the lunch she set out that had all of the price tags, everything she bought from the horrified.
That made me laugh. And I
housewife who's made I don't know how much money from her divorce and everything. She's getting her lunch catered from Pavilions.
I don't even know what that is. I just kind of thought it was like from Whole Foods. But
no, Pavilions is my local store. It's like Ralph's, Vons, like it's
okay.
It's just a generic grocery store, and it is nice, but like Whole Foods is way more expensive.
Okay. Well, I saw something about her lunch. Someone was making fun of it, and I guess she did it. I guess I kind of understand why she does it, because people have a lot of dietary restrictions. So I think she was trying to post the ingredients, but I feel like she could have like done it in a classier way where we're not seeing like the $5.75 price tag. Like it was just kind of weird.
Like she could have, with the amount of money she had, if she really, really needed the labels out, she could have hired someone to nicely type them up and put little labels next to everything instead of like the tacky ass display.
Yeah. Or even she could have had like a little cue card and written like contains dairy or gluten or, you know, whatever we're all allergic to now. And that's always changing.
Vanderpump putting out anything with price tags on it, even if she was concerned about the ingredients showing. Could you ever imagine Lisa Vanderpump doing that as a host at her home and in one of her restaurants? Never.
No. This would never happen on Beverly Hills. Sorry, OC ladies, but it wouldn't.
It wouldn't. So yeah, I think that's it for this week. We covered a lot of good stuff. There's more to come, more guests to come appear on our show, and we are so looking forward to dishing more on Salt Lake City.
Yeah, that's our saving grace. Like OC was like Salt Lake City first episode literally blew the last 5 episodes of OC out of the water. Like it's coming in hot. I honestly could just talk about Salt Lake City and I would be happy at this point. So I think we're finally just like excited about a show again, which is nice. Obviously we got Atlanta coming in a couple weeks. We'll have more guests, more to talk about. Hopefully a Dallas trailer comes out soon. Again, not expecting too much, but it's nice to just have some shows to look forward to again.
Totally. And fingers crossed that we get a Miami reboot.
Yes. Even if it's on Peacock, I'll take it wherever it comes.
Thank you so much for tuning in this week. We'll see you next week for more The Word on the Street Is.
Thank you. Bye.